Okay, so this is a update video on the channel, which is late, as usual. So, I mostly want to address a few points here. One is that this channel is a mess because I'm a lazy fuck, and the other is what I'm going to do to make it less of a mess. So, it should be pretty obvious by now that I haven't been uploading much, and it's not because I don't want to upload. It's because it's kind of a pain in the ass to actually make a full video alone. It shouldn't be, and for the longest time it wasn't, but some of the more recent projects have shown some issues with this, and those issues are mostly related to editing. Which is to say that I don't like to edit, or I do, but it takes a lot of time and I don't have a lot of time. So I mostly make minimal edits where possible, but lately that hasn't been the case. So to quickly go through some of the stuff that's been going on here, Yoshi's Crafted World was an absolute mess for the post-game stuff or the 100% completion or whatever, because I basically had to record all of it before I could even start editing it. And the end result is absolute garbage. Why would you watch this? But also, it took me like 15 hours to record all of it, and then it took me like at least double that to edit it. And that was kind of absolute misery because I don't like to have like massive delays, which I have all the time. But then came Battletoads, which I figured would be something easy I can do real fast because it's a relatively short game as far as I know. I mean, it's a NES game. It can't be that long, right? The problem is it's not that much more difficult than say something like Ninja Gaiden, which I can pop in and probably do in a few hours, no problem. But the issue is that the main difference is that it doesn't have unlimited continues. Which means, of course, that you start over and over. And that's where the actual extra difficulty basically would come from. But if they both had unlimited continues or didn't, they would probably be in the same ballpark. So, you know, maybe not. Maybe slightly harder. But that's not the point. The point is, there's no need for me to show any of the stuff that I've already done unless something especially noteworthy happens, which is never. And that means I need to cut off a vast majority of the video, basically. And the reason this is a problem is because Battletoads is still hard enough of a game where to actually play it, I need to consciously play on the top of my game. And apparently I can't do that for more than, at this point, a single full run, which is about an hour. So I can do one run per day, probably. So I can reach a point in the game that's new and that is completely memorization. There is no strategy, you just need to remember the entire thing. So you get about 2 seconds further, and then you lose your lives, and then you do it again. So even if I did this every single day, which I haven't done lately because, god damn, even if I did it every single day, it would take ages to actually make progress, and I'm too stubborn to look up a guide or anything like that, because I like my gaming as authentic as possible, I guess. Whatever the hell that means. And it just isn't really working out. I don't have anything to put together. Editing it wouldn't be the problem. In this case, the problem is purely just, you know, the game itself. So for Yoshi's Crafted World, the problem was in the editing department, basically. In this case, it's kind of the editing that causes it, but the real underlying problem is that the game isn't really fit for my playstyle combined with that. So thirdly, there is another project that has been not making any actual reasonable progress in ages, and that is of course Dark Souls 2, which I really want to get around to. But here it's again partially or majorly the editing, because that game is a huge pain in the ass to edit because of not me related reasons, basically. I need to come through it much more carefully than normal videos, because I can't keep track of what's being said and where, and there's actually potential for quality commentary, unlike most of my content, because I don't do Dark Souls 2 alone. And that's the other problem with Dark Souls 2. I don't do it alone, so me being able to continue it is not entirely reliant on me. I still have stuff to edit from back when I last played it, and I haven't gotten around to it because, again, I'm lazy, I don't have time, and all that good stuff. But there's also the fact that there's not much point in me editing it and uploading it, and then the game disappears for another 5 years ago. Disappears for another 5 years again. So I need to edit that at some point, but I'm not going to upload it immediately until I have enough content to keep it going. But yeah, that's, and I'm not saying this to put the blame on anyone on here or anything, but one of the reasons is that my friend who is co-commentating Dark Souls 2 with me is basically busy and doesn't really necessarily always have the time to record. So yeah, again, not blaming her for that, just that's how it be, partially at least. So yeah, I'm not dropping either of them. I just need to get my shit together and actually make progress on that. Now, how am I going to actually fix these issues, which are not going to go away even if I do finish those 2 games post-haste? Well, there's 2 different things I can do, or what I'm going to do. First is that from now on, whenever I start a new project, I'm going to make sure that I have the entire thing ready before I start uploading anything. This way I don't need to basically worry about getting stuff done on time every day so I can, post the videos, because everything involved in that is already done. Of course, this does mean that there's going to be basically gaps between projects, Or maybe not, if I get very excited about playing games. But there's a possibility that there's going to be gaps between projects, and that's fine. Because at least then there's nothing hanging, waiting for... having people wait for something they want to watch. Which is debatable, because nobody actually watches my stuff. But yeah. The other issue with this is that while I don't really care that much about views or anything like that, it does mean that new games are kind of hard to do, because I would want to obviously start posting them as soon as I get my hands on the game, but with this kind of setup it wouldn't really work out. In the worst case scenario, we get another Yoshi's Crafted Island world, where I think I can get it all done in timely manner, and then the game throws a curveball at me, and I'm collecting pieces of cornflake from every single level for 15 hours. So that's where the second solution comes in. And that is the fact that I have, as some of you might have noticed, I have started to stream. Now, the way I'm currently doing it is kind of whatever. I basically upload the previous stream to YouTube right before I start streaming. This way, if somebody happens to see the damn thing, they can potentially look into the description, see that there is a link to my Twitch channel, which it should be there, and I will be streaming right at that very moment. I know nobody actually is going to do that, but you know. And right now I've been basically doing Mario Maker, except for the last few weeks, because I've been involved in some shenanigans of a busy nature. But I'm going to be getting back around to that. So, with that in mind, the first thing... You know, I just got from saying that I'm going to play new games on stream, because that seems like the logical way to do it. I get to play it as soon as I want, as much as I can, and it will be available as soon as possible, basically. And yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And with that in mind, the very first thing I'm going to be doing, other than, you know, I've been doing Mario Maker, obviously, that's probably gonna be something I do a lot during streams, which I hopefully will do often, because the game has a lot of endless possibilities, basically. But tomorrow is Friday, and if everything goes to plan, Link's Awakening is going to release on the Switch, and I'm definitely going to, if I can get the game, hopefully I will be able to do so, I'm going to be streaming that starting tomorrow, obviously, after I get it, at some unspecified time, but it's probably like, I don't know time zones. Whatever. It's... You can just peruse the subscription feature, I guess, to see when I'm about to start. But yeah, that's something I'm gonna do, and obviously I'm going to upload all the streams to YouTube as well, so if you're into that, yay. But yeah, after that game is done and I hopefully return to the normalcy of hopefully streaming Mario Maker, I'm going to make a point to go back and finish Battletoads as soon as I can. I'm not going to post videos until I'm actually done with it though, because I don't know how long it's going to take, and it's gonna be annoying. And after that, I'm going to edit the damn Dark Souls 2 stuff I have, and then I'm going to see if we can start to make some progress on recording that again. Speaking of my friend, you may or may not have noticed that my channel has a new snazzy profile picture, or whatever the hell people call them these days. Skidrutan. And normally I would have that info down, like with proper credits in the description or something, because that's kind of good form, but she doesn't really have much of an online presence that we could link that to. So until that happens, if it happens, we've kind of agreed to not have credits. I will make sure to have those up when it's relevant. I just want to bring this up in fairness to you know, crediting people for their artwork. Don't be a piece of shit about that. So yeah, I have now bumbled about for 16.5 minutes, so don't really have much else to say about that. But yeah, changes will be happening, and hopefully those changes will make this channel less of a mess. With that being said, I'm gonna leave you out with the since it's been playing on the background, hopefully, because I'm a magical editing man, with me actually beating Dan Salvato's Lethal Ejection with actual live reaction from a live stream that wasn't on my channel. So yeah, you can watch that if you're into such things. But yeah, I'm gone. Peace.